So this is the best soldering rework station we've ever used, and we've been torturing the same unit for about 5 years and it keeps on giving. There's actually a very interesting story behind it. Let me explain. So in the past 5 years, if you look at all my videos, you'll see this unit right there, right? This is not our production, we just rebranded it. We've been using it, been torturing it almost on a daily basis, and it keeps on giving. I wanted to share my community with it, and I said, that was not existent yet. Let me actually share the link and put it on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, so my community can enjoy it, because it's cheap, man. It's cheap, it keeps on giving, it's durable, it's extremely, extremely powerful. It's just the perfect soldering station, right? Let me actually share it with my community. I wanted to post the link. The link is not there. The product is discontinued. Now, I already understand why it was discontinued, right? Companies want the products to die after about a year, so you rebuy them. Like, welcome to 2024. But I said, no way. I contacted the company and I said, look, here's the deal. I know it's discontinued. I kind of understand why. I'm going to commit. We have a big buying power. I'm going to commit to hundreds of these, if not thousands, right? That's what they wanted in the beginning. Bring it back to production. Keep the same cheap price. Include all the accessories, and we're going to be able to offer it to our community only. And they said, you know what? Sure, why not? If you're going to buy a ton of them, we'll do it. So we did. So this is not our production. We didn't invent anything here. This is just a rebranded that. We just gave it a nice, fresher look. We wanted it to look good when it sits on your workbench. So we actually made really nice popping colors and everything. It's a beast, man. This unit, if you're looking for a soldering station, rework station, this is what you want. Like, it's great. We negotiated the terms also because we bought so many. So we made sure it comes with the soldering, with the actual solder, and enough of it. We made sure it comes with 5 tips, so you don't have to go out and buy them. Tweezers, the wick, it comes with everything. A little solder sucker, it comes with as well. Nice. It comes with all the nozzles that you need for your heat gun. This heat gun is a monster. Soon I'm going to fire it up so you guys are going to be able to see. And of course, we made our own instruction and whatnot. We made it nice. We make it a nice product because now we're the only one offering it. And hopefully our community can enjoy it as well. So we pretty much kind of saved this product from being discontinued. Let me actually fire it up. I don't want to waffle too much here, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so let me give you some basics. Obviously, everything is in the instruction, but it's pretty straightforward, so I can just show you, right? You turn it on, of course, and then you have 2 options, the smart soldering and smart heating. Smart soldering, pretty easy. You just press it and it starts. It's actually very, very quick. So it actually climbs to temperature. Sorry, trying to give you guys a little angle here. Climb to temperatures very, very rapidly. This is when it comes to the actual soldering station. I actually changed the head. I'm going to show you the station in action in a minute. It comes with a tip cleaner, of course, a little sponge here. It comes with everything you need pretty much. You get the mount, you get everything. And then the other side is the heat gun or rework. You pretty much press it. By the way, if you leave this one on and you forget, not recommended, right? But it will go to sleep mode. This is something I really, really like about this station. Also, the wires are long enough, so you can actually work on your project next to it, and it can actually sit next to a wall or something. So now it's at the 400 and almost 80 degrees. That's a ton, man. Let me tell you, this tip is so hot. Every soldering job is so easy. Now, the heat gun, you just press it and it turns on. You can choose either the fan speed or the fan temperature. It will not turn on until you pick it up, which is a safety feature I really like. So you pick it up and then it starts, of course. This is actually a brushless motor here inside. It's super, super hot. Also, same thing here. It climbs to temperatures really, really quick, which is something I really appreciate when it comes to this unit. Obviously, you can choose your own fan level if you have like very, very small jobs or something and you don't want to make other components hot as well. So you can actually choose your fan level, and of course you can choose your temperature and it will just climb there. Now let's set it at 480 and high fan. So now it's at full blast, right? So this one is at 480, this one is going to be at 480 in a second, and it just keeps on giving. So sometimes I have jobs that I even leave this one on the machine, and I actually solder something, use the heat gun, solder something, use the heat gun. This is obviously modular, so you can move it. There's a magnet here that recognizes once you put it in here. If it's all the way to the cradle right now, it will actually cool down. So once you actually turn it off, it will cool down to a safe temperature, and only then it will actually stop the brushless fan. Okay, so let's have some fun. Start with soldering. Let's actually turn this machine up and set it at 480 highest blast. Why wouldn't I? Now this is a QS8 V2 by Perfect Pass. People are sometimes afraid of this because they're so thick and bulky and hard to solder actually. This is a Castle Creations silicone 8 gauge wire for ESCs. People are afraid of them because they're the same reason, very thick and very hard to work with. Now most of the time people will actually tin the wire, they will use flux, they will tin the actual connector, etc, etc. The thing is, if you're using 4060 rosin core with this behemoth, you kind of don't need to. So I will show you now on live. It's actually still climbing, but we can actually start working 400 degrees. We're actually getting there. This unit is actually so strong that, sorry about that, trying to do it behind the camera, that you just keep on pushing that solder, and what it does, it just makes all the components so freaking hot so quickly that your connection is probably a 20-second, 30-second connection. Now, usually I just let it sit there for a minute because I'm not using the flux and because I haven't tinned it. I'm just sitting there and waiting for it to actually drink it. And in a minute, you'll see that it happens. So this actually saves a ton of time. Just zoomed in so you guys can actually see better. I'm just gonna keep the head on there. I'm gonna keep on adding a little bit more solder here as well. And eventually, because it's so hot, it will actually drink it and sink and make everything one piece. And I think it should happen within about 3, 4, 5 seconds, something of that nature. And 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That looks about right. Let me actually spin it around and show you guys the connection. If you have the right tools, this connection is super solid and it pretty much goes nowhere. Let's actually switch to the heat gun and I'll show you the functions. Okay, let's have fun with some heat shrinks. So turn the heat gun on, of course. You have to pick it up for it to actually start working. Like we said before, this is the safety feature, of course. We are going to elect full speed here and full temp at 480. It'll get there in seconds. This is an 8mm bullet and an 8 gauge wire. Just took a little bit of heat shrink piece here and just put it on there just for the sake of the demonstrations. Guys, like I said before, if you're still afraid of soldering or doing heat shrinks and whatnot, it means that you haven't used the right equipment yet. So this is pretty much it. You just, well, bring in the heat gun and it does its thing. You do it from one side. I usually use the tip since it's a new machine. I still don't have a tip on it. Let me just see here, come from the other side. And that is pretty much it. Come from the bottom. Again, guys, these are easy things. I know a lot of you guys still go out to the stores and ask them to solder your connectors and whatnot. It's so darn easy, man. You guys have to do it yourself. It's one of the things that get you connected with your machines as well. So this is pretty much done. We heat gun it. Now we put it back in the actual crate. It will drop the temperature automatically because there's a magnet here. If you want it to not recommended, but I sometimes just keep it like so when I'm working because I want it to still be fired, right? So this is pretty much what I do, and then I just cut the end and you have a beautifully made heat shrink on the wire. Now guys, if we already have some kind of an educational video, right, might as well show you how to desolder things with our unit, something that some guys are afraid of as well. If you have a connection that's set there for a while, even if it's years, it really don't matter. So the trick is pretty much grab our station, set it to 480, let it reap at full blast. And what you want to do, as weird as it sounds, you want to actually add solder to the connector because you want to actually transfer the heat. Add a little bit of solder and let it actually melt through whatever it needs to melt through. Let it sit there. Yes, that might take a minute. It really depends on what solder was used initially as well. Let it sit there, let it sit there. And then once it's just hot enough and everything is liquefied, you can actually pull your wire and install a new one if you wish. And it looks something like so. And of course, you can clean it up and whatnot and add your new wire. Let me actually just show you when you want to add your new wire. Just hold it. See the solder iron, the iron is actually so hot that you can just play with it. You can just Pretty much do whatever you want. No, this is too hot to hold, but you get the idea. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining. For those who are still struggling with soldering jobs, come on, you don't have to drive 30 minutes each direction for a connector. You've seen it's pretty easy. The unit is very, very cheap and super, super durable and lasts years. So no excuses. I actually dare you guys to post some soldering jobs. It might actually be cool to share the community with some beautiful soldering jobs using the Perfect Pass station on our social media, and you might win a prize. You never know. This is now available on our website, perfectpassrc.com, worldwide shipping. The link is in the description of this video, of course. So if you're from America, choose the 120 volt, of course. We have both options on the website. And if you're from Europe, choose the 230. I appreciate you guys. Raz Shifrin, Perfect Pass Soldering Station, over and out.